On this shelf somewhere is a book that I think will help give us a bit of context for today's video. Now, I did try and sort this out once upon a time into some kind of alphabetical order, so you'd think it'd be easy enough to find. Oh. No, that's definitely not it. That's definitely the missus. Okay. You can make me whole again. Here it is. Atomic Habits by James Clear. In this book, James argues that it is in fact the little things we do every day that shapes who we are. It isn't the big decisions we make, the new job, the move abroad, or the ending of a relationship that decides our path. James instead argues that it is the regular practice of small habits that really changes our lives. He calls them atomic habits, and although it might not be obvious the initial impact these small changes have, with enough consistency long term, the influence on our lives can be massive. But whilst it might be true that a run every day or going to bed on time can be beneficial long term, is it really the case that investing just small amounts of money is even worth it? Hello everyone, my name is Tom Morgan from the YouTube channel That Finance Show. I'm a UK-based, fully qualified financial planner and advisor, and I'm today coming to you in collaboration with the good people from Trading 212, who want to help you make smarter decisions when it comes to investing. Remember, nothing in this video should be construed as financial advice. But when it comes to the question of, is it worth investing just small amounts of money? Let me tell you a story about a woman called Sylvia Bloom. Sylvia was born in New York in 1919, and between the years of 1947 and 2014, she worked as a legal secretary for a Manhattan-based firm. Every day she would travel from Brooklyn on the subway to her place of work, and for all intents and purposes, Sylvia and her husband lived happy but unremarkable lives. Her secretary's salary meant that Sylvia worked all the way up until 94, until eventually retiring, and unfortunately died just 2 short years later. But it's what happened upon her death that caught the attention of the world. Sylvia left a $6.24 million donation to a local charity who said it was the single largest donation they'd ever received in their entire 125-year history. Little old Sylvia was sitting on millions of dollars, and no one had the faintest idea. Not even her husband, who worked multiple jobs right up until the day that he died. So what's going on here? Well, Sylvia was from a time where a secretary would essentially organise their boss's lives, filling more of a PA role than that of a secretary. So her boss would ask her to do everything from the dry cleaning all the way down to placing purchase orders for stocks. The ever-enterprising Sylvia would essentially just copy these investments with her own modest wages. And being the clear sucker for work she never sold, never touched them. Now, besides the obvious questions around insider trading that this sparks up, and the debate about why on earth Sylvia never let anyone know about this pile of cash, including her poor husband, many of you will be sat there thinking, great Tom, so small amounts work as long as you are privy to the investing knowledge of a morally dubious legal professional in the know. Now, while I am sure this helped Sylvia, the main thing about this story is, this isn't an isolated case. There was Leonard Gigowski, Milwaukee bachelor and corner shop owner, who left $13 million to a scholarship program. Or Donald and Mildred Othmer, who left $750 million behind when they died. Or how about the most impressive one? There was Grace Groner, a Chicago-based secretary who invested $180 once in 1935 and died with $7 million in assets. What do all these people share in common? Apart from the fact that they probably should have spent a bit more cash before they snuffed it. It isn't experience, it isn't investing prowess, it isn't superior intellect. It is time. Benjamin Franklin famously said, "Time is money." And many people use that saying as an expression of frustration of their time being wasted, but I think we can be a little bit more literal here. Time, when it comes to investing, can literally equal money. If I gave you the choice of starting to invest at the age of 20, £200 a month every single month for 40 years, let's say you achieved an average rate of return of 9% a year, so the first of every month £200 goes in every month for 40 years. Or instead, you can enjoy your 20s, blow all the cash you've got and start at 30 instead. But let's say you'll play catch up and you'll invest £400 a month for those 30 years, so double the amount. Which are you choosing? £200 or £400? You probably guessed that this is a trick question, but the results are still pretty shocking. £200 a month over 40 years delivers a pot of £943,000, just shy of £1 million. Whereas £400 a month for 30 years would deliver a pot of only £738,000. That's a difference of over 200 grand. In fact, you would actually need to invest over £500 every month for the 30 years to catch up with that 24 grand investing in your 20s gave you. Now, this example is not meant to make you feel sad about wasting your youth. Trust me, I blew enough cash on white lightning in my 20s with the best of them. This is meant to demonstrate the power of time, even on small amounts of cash. But let's be honest, whilst this is a startling example and stories of extremely frugal OAPs are entertaining enough, I think we've all heard stories and seen these demonstrations of compounding interest at work, haven't we? But still, data shows that in 2018, only 12% of the UK population invested in the stock market. And while that has shot up to 33% as of 2021, the fact stands that most people don't invest, and the most commonly cited reasons are: number one, it's too complicated, and number two, they don't have enough money to get involved. So where does this concept of it not being worth it come from? When faced with the numbers and the idea that even the smallest amounts of cash have the ability to compound given enough time, why does the idea persist that investing just small amounts of money simply isn't worth it? If you ask me, I think it's a hangover from the recent past, where fees within investing provided an expensive barrier for many would-be investors. Just a few years ago, the high fees of traditional brokers wiped out smaller investors. What's the point of investing £20, £30 a month when your dealing fees could take up as much as half of that? But platforms like Trading 212 have removed that barrier. And with the ability to buy fractional shares, you can even buy pieces of companies and invest with as little as £1 if you wish. The removal of these unnecessary fees has opened up investing to the masses, and it really is possible for anyone to get involved with any budget. So really the question isn't, is it worth just investing small amounts of money? The question is, can I afford to waste the biggest asset I have in my life, my time? You never have more of it than you do right now, and unlike Kerry Katona's career, time can be kind to investors. Time is arguably a bigger factor on your performance than the amount that you invest. Sylvia understood that. So, considering the conclusion of today's video, it's only appropriate that I thank you for your time. It is greatly appreciated. Me and the team here at Trading 212 have great fun putting these videos together, so I really hope you got some value from it. If you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the Trading 212 YouTube channel with notifications turned on so you do not miss any future uploads. And if you're feeling really kind, could you head on over to the App Store or Google Play, where you can leave up to a 5-star review for the Trading 212 app just to let others know how good you think it is. Until next time, my name's Tom Morgan from That Finance Show. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.